Hey everybody, this is Way to Fail, back with more Banished, and we're in Hurstboro, and you can see the bridge is done. Yay, people are actually cutting down all kinds of resources. So that is fantastic. It means that I'm going to be able to get what I need built. So I'm actually going to build another bridge, since they seem to be insisting for some reason to go all the way over there to build this. So need the blacksmith quite a bit. Need the market quite a bit. In fact, we have most of what we need for the market now. But I guess the first on my to-do list is to go ahead and set up sort of my north town. As you can see, these magical fording deer going across there. Because I have needs for all kinds of places right now. In fact, I'm very concerned about the food level for my town, because we have a lot of people to feed, and we're not producing a ton of food. Like I said, this gatherer's hut is not gathering as much as I hoped it would be. And maybe if I drop some more people in there, it'd be fine. If there was more actual trees, it'd be fine. This hunting cabin is not producing a ton. In fact, I am going to drop it down a little bit here and try and get some more people to gather, just because that should do something. Now, how's my fish production? Fish production is decent. Could probably get a little bit more going out of there. But my next goal is with this is to really try and push north up here, just to get something going. And for some reason I cannot build a dirt road in that location. Weird. Okay, well, I guess it's got to be all the rocks or something. I don't know. We'll go ahead and do this area over here, and this is going to be my sort of second forest area. And what we're going to do for the forest area is about like what we did before. We're going to have another gatherer's hut. And across from that gatherer's hut, we're going to have a forest lodge. And I like having this infrastructure here early in the game, just to go ahead and make sure that everything is as it needs to be. So this is going to be kind of my second node, if you will. And I don't mind all these buildings being right here together. And this area to the east from here on out is going to be where I have some more homes and some other stuff together. I really need to connect that road. Pet peeve of mine to not have that connected. Alright, so this is kind of how the plan is going to go. I have 2 fisheries. That's going to be enough for a while, assuming they produce. I'm going to need a tailor pretty soon. I'm going to need an herbalist pretty soon. In fact, I should probably drop an herbalist down here as well. So we will actually go ahead and have that together, because herbalists are good with surrounding trees as well. And then actually I'm going to extend this road out just a little bit, and I'm going to add to this area a hunting lodge. And once again, I know some people say you want to put your hunting lodges out by themselves, but I think this will be fine. Just to have this over here, kind of on the edge, more trees. We're going to try and keep this virgin forest as virgin as we can. But probably of everything there, the herbalist is the lowest priority. And we're going to want to put some houses over here as well, just to make sure people have places to work. And I'll actually go over there, but these houses are low priority too, because if you build houses way too quickly, everybody starves. But what is going to be important, though, is that those houses are actually within the marketplace. So we do want to kind of have a dense housing section up here and down there, or kind of upriver, north of the little creek and south of the little creek. So let's go ahead. I think I've done enough damage just with sudden need for 20 builders. And maybe that's going to be too much, because I need more food, quite frankly. So 3 builders, more fishermen, more gatherers. It's late summer. And while we have low reserves on food, I think the more important thing is going to be just to check what is our home situation. What's the inventory in the homes look like? They have some food. They have a lot of food. They have food. So I think we're doing okay on food. I think the bigger deal right now is just going to be getting tools together, which means we need logs. And unfortunately that means, like I said, this is what I was talking about before. If you don't have tools, and apparently you need the same tool to actually fish as you do to build things, but tools are kind of a general term here, but you do need all that together. What in the world are you doing down here? Citizen, you are a hunter and you are hunting, and you are currently working. So hunting down there by the river, as you can see someone else chopping wood, that'd be a forester. So the town kind of working together happily. I'm pretty sure I can make it through this winter. It's just going to be a lot better. I really am a little annoyed at myself for not getting that blacksmith together. But now we have 1 builder, 2 laborers. We do, I think, have enough food. We did get another child born, but once again, harsh climate. This is harsh and on hard difficulty. So at that, and I'm just going to go ahead and pause all this building up there because there's not going to be a point of having this done until all this stuff's down here. The market's going to be good for distributing goods, making sure everybody has what they need to have. But more important thing is just going to be tools will increase everybody's efficiency. You can see the forest is really struggling to keep up here at this point, and I'm having to rely on woods that I do chop down. So let's go ahead and designate more trees to be choppity chop. Those are all going to have to go eventually. Oh my gosh, that's a regular bunch of deer sandwiches or deer steaks flying right by. But there we go. So I have more laborers. We're getting all kinds of kids born. So at least I'm surviving. But unfortunately, the lack of tools is really, really slowing me down. Let's go ahead and pause this house. I mean, getting the marketplace done is important, but I need lots of stuff done here. Right now, how many builders do I have? Not a ton. Enough. So this market's going to be done in just a minute because it has all the resources it needs. Unfortunately, builders without tools are slow. So let's talk about the town. As you can see, this stockpile right here, doing pretty good, doing pretty good. There's leather, there's firewood. People are using the storage cart. They're using the storage barn. I am going to need to build another barn up here as well. And I'm sorry if I'm saying barn with a twang. That's just how I talk a little bit. But here we go. Slow, slow, slow going because our builders have no tools. But there we go. Marketplace is done. I now need a vendor. And this vendor's job is just going to be to go around and make sure that everybody's getting the stuff they need to get. So please tell me you're going to actually finish up. There we go. Blacksmith's getting done. That blacksmith is going to be crucial because I do have actually a decent store of iron. Because a lot of you don't need a lot of iron early until you get the blacksmith. But this one blacksmith is going to be making tools for a lot of people, and that's really going to speed up my progress. It's really going to speed up getting everything up here. But the more important thing is that I do have food that's storing, so I am doing a net positive. I know the one hunter's only getting a little bit of leather. Like I said, it's not the best location ever. But the 3 gatherers are really pulling their weight right now. And it looks like I'm actually doing better on fish, too. So 228, that's better than before. And these are seasonal stats. And eventually I can build a building that will let me see the stats better. In fact, it's probably a good idea, once I get this area done, to build a town hall. But you can see reserves are low, but they're not out. And I am in spring. So you can see everybody going to the market, getting their items. This blacksmith just needs to finish. Oh man, okay. Well, the more important thing is that I have slashed and burned and destroyed this entire island right here. Or there actually is a little land bridge that goes all the way down here, but yeah, this was a really tough place to start this game. Just right here. So I don't think I thought I'd build a bridge there, but we're gonna assign construction for a bridge, and I don't know why it doesn't want to be placed in this location. Probably because there's already a bridge there, so let's pause that. I'll want to have a bridge there eventually just so that I can have a little more of everything, but right now we have our blacksmith done. Hooray! We need someone to make tools. Lots of tools. Now another important screen that I don't usually have up because I like to do it by hand is the resource limits one. You can see here this will control the maximum amount of stuff you can hold. Although I'm scrambling to have a bunch of stuff right now. 200 firewood is probably good enough. And you can see I'm pretty close. That's where all of my wood is currently going. And the blacksmith does need wood and iron to actually make tools. So that's going to be a little bit of a doozy. And you can see nothing's being built right now. So these guys are going to be general laborers. So let's go ahead and actually start setting some next things to be built here. Probably including the hunting cabin and the gatherer up here first. So my entire town is running around without tools. That sucks. But this little icon means that the maximum amount of resources has been reached. So this person dumps into being a general laborer, which is awesome. That's one thing I really like about this game, is that people are kind of smart and they will just do what they need to do to help keep the town going. Everyone does kind of pitch in. I don't know how you carry one iron and a bunch of logs together, but that's what you're doing, so I'll take it. Probably am going to go ahead and... I know this is storage for the town here, but it may be better for me to try and build a storage barn probably up here too for what I have going on next, because we do have a fishery right here. I did want to put another one up here, but unfortunately it's not going to work too well unless I put it across the way. This, you want as much water as possible in the fish area, and this counts as water too. So you can see that we're still not doing fantastic, if only because there's a lot of stuff I need. Mainly tools, but you can see that I'm already down to 8 tools. How many tools have been produced? 12 tools this season. So, and tools are very important because they increase productivity of my people. So you know what? I am actually going to need to put something up here, because you know what you cannot put in a market? You can't put raw resources. And if I do have resources right here, probably better for me to put this. Let's not do it on the road. I do wish it was a little easier to see some of the stuff. But 8x6 stockpile should be good over here. That'll put it on the edge of the woods, which is fine. Okay, so we're gonna just go ahead and once that's done, taken care of, it should be okay. Everyone has tools. Yay! That disaster is averted. This hunting lodge, once again, not doing a ton of work. In fact, I may actually just scrap it when I'm done with it over here and just let this be fallow forest, because 160 is almost just not worth working. But that's where, if you put this in around an area with a bunch of other people, that's what's going to happen. In fact, I may try and put one hunting lodge there and then another hunting lodge once I start expanding over here, kind of try and keep this a little isolated, because right now that's particularly low even for one person. Right here we're finally getting some more log harvest, still getting a pretty good gather or haul, so that counts for something. But at least for now my people are building and going around making things work. We do have a 14-year-old and a 20-year-old living together, Lysander and Leanna. And you can actually click on them and follow them around, which I always thought was pretty neat. So we have the vendor and we have a blacksmith. So another thing that's really nice about this simulation engine is that people will try and live close to where they work. So it's not the SimCity logic of, we're just going to walk into the closest house because we're done. No, this is... you can click on different buildings and see where people live, and you can see now that we don't have people running across town to work anymore. However, we still have a little bit of a stretch here just because there's not as much stuff for people to do over here. In fact, there is another thing I'm going to be needing to build very soon, and that is a tailor, and that's going to be a good thing to put over here. So that'll be another good place where somebody lives here and can actually work next to this, because we are going to need more fisher people. But look at this, we're not actually getting a bunch of food or log or resource warnings anymore. I think by Winter 4, with that kind of start, because that was an especially hard starting location, I'd say, I think I'm doing pretty alright. As you can see, even the hunting cabin now, some times a year are better than others, 3200 Vidison. So maybe you'll stay the execution block for now. Weather's going to be very important later as well. But you can see the market stores a lot of things. The storage barn will store some things as well. The vendor just kind of goes around to make sure that everything is distributed as it needs to be. But at this point, yeah, I think it's going to be more important for me because I don't have a ton of clothes stored right now. I think it's probably about time for me to just go ahead and cut this loose, get all of this stuff built. We're going to need some people living up here. We need to start thinking about expanding our population. And this is why I build extra fisheries first. This is why I have some of the stuff available, is that I still have room for my gathering places to grow. So it's not like I'm totally stuck with what I have. You want to make sure that your infrastructure is together so that if you decide to build 2 houses in 1 year, that you can actually do that. And I'm going to go ahead and put 4 builders here. I do need 17 builders, but it's not going to take too long. The Gatherer's Hut, the Forester's Lodge, those are all going to come pretty quickly. I'm pretty sure that gatherer's hut is within the radius because it's touching. But you know what I can also do? Fancy is maybe, just maybe, have this road extend down here, because I do have one thing all the way down here. There we go. Yay, so eventually these people will be able to walk all the way around, and we kind of have a square. A nice thing about roads, if you can't tell just from zooming in, is that the roads do not actually take out anything. So we do have another gatherer's hut, and we do have resources. Then that one's going to be a very happy gatherer's hut. This area is pretty much just going to be this area packed in together with woods, not too much else. And that's going to be a really big backbone for production. So we'll actually make this bridge do something too. So we're kind of in a growth standpoint right now. The health of my citizens are dropping. It's going to increase once I get a few other professions up and going, such as a hospital. Not a hospital, yeah, you do want a hospital. Schoolhouse is going to be pretty important pretty soon, especially as I'm going to be trying to get a baby boom going here in just a little bit. It's probably a good idea to put the school somewhere around here, perhaps. If I can fit it right here. I don't think I'll be able to, though. Just because that'll leave it in a central-ish location. See, I'll go ahead and build the school as well. And another thing I'm going to go ahead and build, just so that I can have some stats together, is the town hall. The town hall does nothing except for lets nomads come in. Nomads are something we haven't seen yet because I don't have a town hall, but we're not going to have people build the town hall right now. That's a low priority building. It's just good for stat overlays and everything. But for now, I can get most of what I need to get just by this. And I do want some more people to start breeding and everything, and that's one thing you got to start looking out for. Is we have 18 and 23-year-old. They're still doing all right. 35 and 36, they're 40 and 41. Some of these people are not going to be having children much more. So what I need to do is to start, like, this house is just full of people. And this is where my lack of expansion during that time without tools has really hurt me just a little bit, because I'm going to run into a situation where I need housing ASAP. There's a lot of things going to need ASAP. In fact, I need stone right now. That's interesting, because we, didn't I make a resource pile somewhere around here? I did, and then for some reason it didn't build. So that's probably one reason this is going a little slower over here. So resource pile right here, just a tiny stockpile. And let's increase the priority on that. Yay! In fact, let's increase priority for all of this, because we need people to be trying to stay up here. This area down here should be enough, but right now I need houses. I need people to make babies so that my poor civilization can keep going. And unfortunately, like I said, we have had one death so far. Normally by now I'd have something resembling a cemetery as well, just so I can start keeping track of my dead. This game is going to be fully moddable once the mod API is released and everything, which is something the developer is still working on. The developer, and I say the developer quite literally because it's just one developer. And I'm going to designate more of the stuff to be clear-cut over here, just all of these resources. We do need stone, we do need logs, and this is a nice area because now I can start looking at all the stone that's up here and start thinking about that. I do like the drag and drop interface here, but we're down to 3 children. That's not good. And we do have some people that, unfortunately, this house is, yay, we have people living in this house. Unfortunately, all the firewood is, well, hopefully there's not firewood in the market. Where's the firewood? Don't tell me everyone else hoarded all the firewood. Notice there was a quick snow. Now there's more snow. Do they have their stuff together? Maybe. So we have multiple houses built. That's a start. I don't think I need another woodcutter yet. I think I just need to increase the resource limit for fuel at this point. We'll put it at 300. It's going to put a strain on my log supply still. But I need these people to actually have kids. And right now, 27 and 30. In real life, that's a totally reasonable time. But in this game, I've found it's a little dicey in terms of actually getting people to reproduce. So we're going to have to try and slingshot the population back. 3 kids is a terrible place to be right now. I may have actually started just a little bit too slow. That's no good. It's funny because I've built towns that have been pretty successful, even though there's a derpy road right there. But at least at this point, from the looks of it, I think I had some easier starting locations, and right now I'm paying for my crimes, I guess you could say. So let's go ahead and see if we can put down more houses. I'm gonna need more people to live here. There we go. More children being born. I may be able to get out of this yet. So not bad at all. And we can see here there's children, and one thing that's kind of fun or interesting fact in this game is that once your house gets too crowded and get your older people in there, they don't like you having sex in there and having kids for whatever reason. So, whoa, Emma, you don't have great health. That's because your clothes are ragged. So we're going to need to work on that in just a moment. Fortunately, the herbalist is almost done. An herbalist can help with that, but we're going to need to build a doctor place as well, somewhere where people can go when they are sick, and that's probably going to need to be over across the bridge up here. So a few things that I can do here. So we have an herbalist tavern, which doesn't really work very well for me right now because I don't actually have a good way to actually make ale or beer, because you need specific resources for that. Let's go ahead and put that on the side. I know that cuts into my trees a little bit, but I think it's going to be worth it because the hospital, I want it to be centrally located. We can have one herbalist available. Quick note on herbalist, I've found that I've been most successful with herbs. The herbalist, if you keep the resource limit low, there'll be enough herbs on hand, but herbs are one of the really, really good trading resources for when you start opening up trading in the game, which is something that's going to come eventually. But at least for now, I do have my infrastructure here again, and people do have to walk down to the market. Maybe I should build a storage barn over here just so that people don't have to walk so far to the market. Even though the market's good, don't get me wrong, but I want these people to not necessarily have to spend all of their time walking back and forth all the time. Although they're going to have to do that quite enough as is. And I think it's probably safe for me to cut and take all the resources down here if I have not designated them already. Let's go ahead and clear up this peninsula as well. And then I think I actually have enough stuff together to where I can make this my main drag a stone road. Stone roads have people walk much faster on them. I think it's a full 50% faster, I'm not sure. But I want this main drag to be a good place for people to go back and forth. I am going to need to look out for building a rock quarry eventually. And this could be a pretty good area for a rock quarry. And a mine, too, in fact, because you actually need to build a mine into the hill. So, what are we going to do here? First off, can I actually build a mine over here? Looks like I can not. I can build one right here. That's not fantastic, but I can also build a rock quarry. That's a mine. Rock quarries and mines can be a little tough. And look at this. This is like beautiful seaside landscape. Rock quarry. Okay. So that's going to be another fantastic place for a fishing hut next to here. But you want some wide open expanses for these things. There's got to be a better place than that for a rock quarry somewhere. But I'm going to need to start making quarries for myself eventually. And we do need more firewood. So that's interesting. We're low on logs. And that's why we're having trouble. So, I think part of it's that I don't have a ton of laborers. And I got rid of the production window again. Once again, I'd love to have a way to not have that close. So want a few laborers here. My food's floating at about 1,000, which is fantastic. I now have more than enough tools, so this blacksmith is now a general laborer, as you can see. He's running around here picking up resources, and you can actually hit the follow button as well, if I can click it, right? And just follow him going around, or her, excuse me. Lena the blacksmith is going around and taking care of things, being a general laborer, going through the workforce, walking through town. So you can see the school's finally getting built. In fact, let's exit follow mode and check and see. The tailor's done. Yay, tailor. So now my citizens can finally have clothes. So we're getting our population kind of making a bounce back here. We don't have a ton of kids still, but at least the two houses I've built, they're starting to reproduce. these houses are going to make more kiddos as well, so that counts. Schoolhouse as well. Schoolhouse, very important, because educated people work a lot better. I've seen anywhere between 33 to 50% more efficiency for people who are educated, and I know there's a bunch of slacker children out there in the school system. I was one of them. But in this game, education is vitally important, and you want everyone to be a student as much as possible. The downside is that students will turn 10. Are you a student? No, this is the teacher, and the teacher's working. Instead of having laborers become laborers at 10, now I'm going to be being a little short-staffed on the workforce. But you make do with what you can, because the trade-off is that, yes, you may lose some kids eventually, a few years of early production on people, but people in this game can live to be anywhere between 80 to 90 years old if you keep their health high enough. So 25 to 50% more efficiency for a few years of work, not too bad. So there we go, more houses being built. Am I actually going to need to just build some more firewood? I don't know, but I'm going to try and make this area a little bit of a neighborhood. Maybe this will be a good place for a trade depot instead. Can I actually fit the trade depot is the key question. I don't think I can. It's going to be really close. No. Unfortunately, the way the area is designed means that trade depot is probably going to go here instead, but that's okay. I don't have enough to really trade yet, but I'll go ahead and just drop this down. Just those there. It's not going to get in the way of the woods or anything. And at least I'll have it. And I'll put road down here as well. In fact, I can just connect these areas. Yay! And suddenly we're making little blocks of town. So let's see, we do have enough tools. We do have some kiddos. Probably a good time for me to say, okay, you can build a town hall now. Bigger thing is just going to be trying to get the woods situated together, so we'll come to that eventually. But I think for now this is probably as good of a stopping point as any for this. My firewood's low, my logs are low. I may need to build another woodcutter up here just to make sure that it's all together. But the important thing is that my town is surviving at this point, and that means quite a bit. Because you don't want your dead citizens to be dead. I've already had one person tragically die a very early death, but otherwise my original settlers, my original townfolk are 49, 50, 45. And what are you doing, fishermen? You're sitting at the docks. You're happy and you're healthy. And you have an iron tool. So we've overcome the challenges of my derping it early, and otherwise, so far, so good. And I think the goal for the next video is going to be to finish up this infrastructure. Make sure I keep building houses to make sure that people are continuing to reproduce and build, and then it's going to be time to actually, as I need to actually connect this road. For some reasons these roads are connecting and they're not connecting, but once that's done, the next step is going to be just to have the trading post to make sure that my town is actually producing enough to make good use of the trading post and work from there. But that's it for now. This is Way to Fail. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. You're going to see more of this. At least, like I said, I'm going to try and do a playthrough where I make a decent town, try and get 300 people, and maybe go for some of the very difficult to get achievements in this game. I do have to say, the achievements in this game are actually an achievement to earn. So that's saying a lot, because some games are like, turn it on the day of release and you get 10 points. No, this one is the achievements are not a nightmare to get, but pretty freaking tough. You gotta know your stuff. But here we go. It's autumn time. Temperatures are going to drop really fast. And once I can get all these people building, I think I'm going to be in decent shape. Only problem is that I am still so resource starved right now. But hey, that's another place for another time. I have people designated to build stuff. I do have people wandering around getting everything together. I do have houses, hospitals, all of that being built. And my tailor is trying to produce clothes. Oh wow, that's good. Used up all the leather. So hide coats are good to have. My people are going to be clothed and healthy. That's good. But hey, I can keep talking about this all day, but for now, this is it. See you next time with more Banished, where we're going to keep building and hopefully not have anything tip over our town and obliterate it. So, see you from Hurstboro. Take care.